If I could be any animal, I would be a bear. Specifically, I would be a grizzly bear. The grandeur that they present when you see them walking across a field or across a beach. They get a lot of respect from the other animals in the forest, yet sometimes you'll see a little bird sitting on their back as they help them through life. My name is Jackie Seidman. I am 63 years old.
Jackie, to me, is somebody who advocates for others and prioritizes inclusivity. Jackie Jackie wants other people to experience joy the way that she experiences joy, and she wants other people to experience like independence.
To me, Jackie Seidman is someone who has a real vision for helping women maximize their potential and really get out there and get outside their comfort zones and really experience the outdoors to their fullest extent.
Yeah, Jackie's an advocate.
So when I was growing up, my mom and I had a bit of a strained relationship. I was always the rebel. I was very close to my father, and my father died in 1992, and I always considered him my best friend. But at the same token, everything that I did was challenged by my mother, but I did my very best. So my father died in 1992, and at that point I assumed the role of being sure that my mother's needs were all met. As the years went on, my mother developed dementia, and then it had progressively worsened, ending up in her going into an assisted living facility. So in early February of 2022, I received a phone call from Dreamland Safari Tours out of Kanab, Utah. At that point, they had made me aware that I had been chosen in their national contest, one of 5 people, for their Women's Adventure Weekend. And at that point, I had to explain to them that I was unable to travel to Kanab, Utah, because my mother was actively dying and was under hospice care, and I was unable to leave her bedside. On the last day of my mother's life, I took my time getting down there because hospice was convinced that she was leaving Earth as we know it literally every hour. So I took my time the day that she actually died, and I walked into her room, and the hospice nurse had her lying on a bed, and she was doing daily care on her. And I poured myself a cup of tea, and I kind of jumped on the bed next to my mom, as I would, and I tucked her head up into my arm and kissed her forehead, of course, and told her I loved her and told her I was here and told her that my dad was waiting for her. And as I placed my hand across her chest, I looked at the hospice nurse and I said, I don't think my mother is breathing. So I watched my mom for a few minutes, and she was no longer respirating. And then I could feel her heart, beat by beat, slow down until her heart stopped beating. I believe in the very end, my mother gave me a gift in dying in my arms. I mean, it doesn't get any more special than that. and it was my family that suggested that I revisit that invitation that I was given 2 weeks prior to my mother's death by the company in Kanab, Utah, and that I would strongly consider heading out to Utah to participate in the Women's Adventure Weekend. When I went out to Utah, I had really lost who I truly am in life. I'm a fun-loving person, and I was so preoccupied by caring for my dying mother, working a full-time job, being a mother, being a grandmother, wearing so many hats, that I didn't know who I was anymore. And going to Utah and getting back in touch with nature, again with unfamiliar faces, having the same love that I did, really helped me to see the positive aspects of what this all could do for so many other people.
Now the tour begins. Gorgeous. Right?
It was a very hard decision. I was terribly grieving, yet I knew, and my family knew, that it was the right thing to do. So I kind of went out there in a fog, in a daze, as I had lived many of my weeks prior to, when you're losing a loved one at the end of life. But it was very empowering for me. The women were extremely supportive, and I gained so much more emotionally and spiritually than I can ever explain.
Let's see, how are we going to get that? How are we going to get it? Let's see, I don't know. We got it? No, wait, I'm in the shadow. Okay.
I just knew at that point that in losing my mother, I had lost the role of a caregiver. And women have a tendency to wear many hats. And as this entire day or weekend was going on, I could feel that I was going to somehow take on another role of helping others, helping as many other people as I could in my life by empowering them to make choices that would benefit them physically, emotionally, and socially.
And I also, this was the catalyst, this was the spark, if you will, to the Lehigh Valley women, because at that point, women, we wear so many different hats, right? And when you lose one of those hats, like I lost having to care for my mom, so I had to figure out how I could care for other people, how I could give back to other people. And what do I love the most is being outside. Are you kidding me? So I decided.
So after my return from Utah, and as the weeks went on, knowing that I wanted to somehow touch the lives of other people, I kind of thought to myself, what a better way to provide opportunity for women than to join me in the outdoors. So on August 1st of 2022, I created a private Facebook page called the Lehigh Valley Women of Adventure.
My favorite aspect of being a member of this group is meeting women who love the outdoors of all ages. I think one of the most important and really meaningful things to me is that there are women from their 20s up through their 70s.
Never know who you're going to meet on every single hike. So anybody can post a hike and say, like, let's go, I'm going to walk whatever the trail is. And you wind up meeting people from all walks of life, all kinds of backgrounds, and you wind up connecting with them.
I'll tell you, the number one thing is the social aspect. I love meeting. Every time I meet new women, we have great conversations, make friends here, and that's really opened up. You know, as a retiree, you have a lot of time and sometimes you're isolated. So this is a great group for connecting with other women, which is always a wonderful thing.
This is one of my favorite curves right through here. Just look up. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So personally, the positive feedback that I have gotten from this group has been more than fulfilling. People have come and said what it has done to them physically, what it has done to them emotionally, what it has done to them socially.
Oh, this is cute.
I guess it'd be the living room.
Oh, how do you feel? Yeah?
I thought that Jackie's making a cocktail.
1, 2, 3, peekaboo.
Our women are at so many different chapters in life, and it doesn't really matter when you get out in nature on a walk or a hike or a ride, because the one thing that I find to be most beneficial is that we don't know who we truly walk among.